All right, hey, thanks for tuning in to my Wednesday contribution stream. This week I'm going to be hacking on drupal-rector. A few weeks ago, actually at DrupalCon, realized that drupal-rector was broken. It's not compatible with the latest rector releases. And sometime after DrupalCon, worked on help get a release out that at least pinned the code to a compatible version, which is 12.17. So now I want to work on getting that back up and that. So this is also my first stream in 2 weeks. Last week I just felt like garbage. Sinuses were just bad, so I'm glad to be back on and work on this. But there are two issues that I want to look at first. So that way we could maybe get like another patch release out with just these. So user password is deprecated in Drupal 9. Hi there. Deprecated does not link to the change record, but whatever. User password rector, password generator. So Drupal, that's not what I want. Drupal user password. User password. Search for deprecated. Oh, it's been deprecated for a while. There we go. All right, there's a change record. Boom, boom, boom. Just link to the change record there. So this just says replace user password with password generator generate. The same values, function call. Okay, so this registers the rule. Viewed. The rector, abstract rector. Yeah, this is really straightforward. So let's go look at the test. Yeah, test configured rule. And in the test, user password, last password. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and approve it. +1. Actually, thanks for joining. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. I've only streamed one time in the past month. So I didn't do it last week, which was the math 9th. No, yeah, 9th. And then it was DrupalCon. And then the week before, I just took the week off. So I haven't really been doing much of anything as streaming. But I'm looking forward to getting back into this. So +1. This doesn't contain a functional test, though. Let's see. Let's close Chrome. I don't need that open anymore. In fixtures, D9. Let's do fixtures, D9. That's crazy. It's already like mid-May. It was like, hit me. Rector examples. I'm not sure if that's a merge blocker or not. All right, I think that might be a merge blocker, and I cannot push to this because I don't have maintainer access on the GitHub repo. But I'm at least going to +1 it. Do that over here. +1, R2BC, C notes, and PR. All right. Yeah, if we could get that merged, this fixes a bug. Edit action. Oh yeah, Drupal post form null. Don't add. Oh, I don't even remember this change record anymore when this was added. All right, yes, I do. Let's go UI. What caused an error? stubs, PSI max. Oh, from the Symfony support. Let's clear it. Let's go annotate. So it's interesting now. When you click on a commit, instead of popping it up, it actually does it in the whole version control bar at the bottom. Fix empty return. Merge pull request issue 321. Here we go. Drupal.org. Add support for Drupal 9. Great. That didn't link to any top 10 Drupal 10 deprecations. Post form. Ah. Let's go find that change record. All right. There's the last one. I see. Okay. So edit. Null after. Got it. So if you pass null, it shouldn't go and create the code. Path value is not instance of const fetch and is not equal to null. Assert is in it. We can't assert this since it could be a variable value. There should be a way to resolve the variable value and check if it is null. I think the best bet is to handle explicit fetch that is null versus best to handle that and not assert the other value. Although path value, where's path value even used here? Oh man, I even had that in my existing code. Wait, safe arg destructure. Oh man. Args. Path value. Oh, I just had garbage code to begin with. So I'm not gonna, let's not bother with that then until it becomes a bug. So what does this do? Path value, else. Create a method call. Why does this logic just read so weird to me? Yeah. Who wrote this knowing that I'm the only one that touched this code? Yeah. Why would I do that? That's gonna crash somebody's code. I'm reading this, but it doesn't track in my head. if it's not an instance of const fetch, or shouldn't this be an and? Path value. Let's close the annotations. Where do we use a const fetch? Let's see. So I wrote bad code before by leaving that. Yeah, why path value? How is it used? Like, why does this even matter? Assert on path value. Actually, it's not even used. What if we refactored this to I don't know, the Drupal post form. I wish there was a link to the original calls. What is that first parameter called? Path. Oh yeah, duh, it's right there. No. So path is null is. Oh, duh, because path value. Got it. It could be a variable referencing a string, and I don't think it would be a resolved value here. So refactor the path value is instance of const fetch, and path value is equal to null. So we can do if path is null equal to false. That way we explicit. Yeah. Options. When I read this, if not instance of or, reading the above logic, the is throwing me off because the object may not have a name property to resolve. That would require and asserting that path value is const fetch. It works. I know it works, but just reading that feels weird. It works. I'll approve so we can get it fixed. Just my feedback. Yeah. Works. I'm just going to approve it, but that's my nit on the review. So let's get to the good stuff. One issue we have is removing a constant in rector. So if I can find the issue, revert that. So in rector PHP unit 0.11.26, they dropped this constant. The thing is, with rector, when it's combined, it's all one release, but it's all separate dev dependencies. Why don't I have why? Oh man, am I that out of date? No. Main. What? This is not right. Oh, I know why. Get rebase upstream main. Push origin main. Oh, why was this so out of date? Pull. There we go. Okay, composer update. So that's what happens when you install rector. It's all bundled in with all these things. But when you have dev, you have all these wonderful hashes to go through. They're broken based off of other changes inside of, yeah, this is the thing I posted about. So when you have a dev dependency, they're not pinned to any release. It's just the Git repo. So what we need to do is, I spent the plane ride, I think my part of the plane ride home from DrupalCon or something working on this. May 18th, 15 days ago. No, when did I do this? May 3rd. Yeah, wait, no, week after DrupalCon. I don't know. I just sat and finally worked on this. So what we need to do is go to rector PHP and then rector source. And we know that I did looking, and this constant was removed in 0.11.626. And let's look at we need to see when or how it gets pegged. So if you look at tags, this was tagged 19 days ago, and somewhere between here. All right, well, let me do a comparison. Compare against 26. Let's switch. Here we go. Oh no. So for 26, that also updates to the new rector config. So we can't even address this. Let's go. There is no way to address this fix. I don't know. We have to resolve this before the constant was removed in rector PHP unit 0.11.26, and that release also includes the breaking changes to how rector is configured. So we need to merge that. We need to remove usage of the constant before updating in rector at all. So yes, I'm just gonna have to start working on this and figuring out. I can't rebase this because I'm not a maintainer. If this was rebased against main, it should pass. I cannot do that. However, all right, so I guess that's the next step is just fixing all the breaking changes. Just do a, let's go up a step. Rector source mono reaper builder. Push tags, no. Composer. JSON. Dev main. So yeah, it just always uses dev main. So the releases don't matter. That's really annoying. So I need to see what release has the PHP unit bump in it. And there's no release notes for any of this. If I go to rector, so like let's try to get to .12.18. You know, I can bump the conflict, but that won't affect our dev dependencies. So let's just start there. Rector source, this is the pin dev dependency for .18. Tags, releases. Oh, is it going to be in here? Maybe. 12.21.20. Wait a second. 23. Okay, it is there. So we need to review the .18 release. But I don't know about anything compared to 12.17. So let's compare the. So yeah, it just upgrades rector. File changed. Oh boy. Rector. It's the prefix, the bootstrap. Composer JSON, that bumps PHP stand. Config parameters. Let's just search this page for PHP unit. PHP stuck to PHP unit. Testing. This just fixes all the namespaces. This removes the PHP spec to PHP unit rectors. But how can we know if, well, I guess there we go. That's PHP stand rector. P comes before R. Here we go. All right, load this diff. So rector PHP unit. Code quality mock. Config sets 7.5. All right, so 12.8 is safe. So 12.8 looks to be safe. So 0.12.18 looks to be a safe upgrade before this constant was removed, which unblocks this issue. And let's make a new branch called git new branch fix conflicts. So my idea is I'm going to make a bunch of incremental commits, and then that way the maintainers can cherry pick specific ones. So we're going to bump rector source to FA, which I wish this then told us what commit hash this was pinned to. Oh, like vendor bin, vendor config. Yes, I am dealing with the rector config change right now. Well, not entirely. I'm working my way up. I'm trying to make incremental improvements. So that way we can fix bugs as they occurred. And right now, all I'm trying to packages. What's this do? Packages PHP stand static. The problem is our dev dependencies could be pinned in ways that don't relate to the actual dependencies in this tagged release. Let's go back to rector source. Does this thing have a lock file? Nope. Oh wait, this is in the source. Never mind. Before I get snarky. All right. This does not have a lock. What's in here? Installed versions. All right, great. Let's go back to release 18. Let's browse it. And that's not what I want to watch. So let's go to rector. Let's go to releases. And I know I'm going to get so confused as I have all these extra tabs open. 218. Let's browse this. Vendor. Composer. Installed versions. Rector. PHP unit. No. Get installed. Get registered loaders. Composer install.php. Here we go. That's huge. Let's see. What about install.json? Here we go. All right. Rector, PHP unit, dev main, reference. Yes. So PHP unit, this one. I wish I knew how to doc this. Let's make notes. Credits, pinning, dev dependencies. If there are conflicts with rector, the package version can be conflicted with conflict on rector. Rector. For development, the required dev is on rector source, which is dev main, and that includes the dev main of all its packages. To properly pin a development release of rector source, do set rector source to dev main commit, where commit is the tag commit in rector source. View the tree for that commit on GitHub and its composer installed JSON file. Example. Use the references to pin require dev dependencies. That's something. At least it's documented. Because I know I don't want to have to go through this again. I don't think anybody else is going to, but at least now I know to go read that. So I didn't think to go and find this file where I went to every single repo and just found a commit that worked. Like I just went back in time. This is a lot faster and could be scripted. That's the nice part, is this could be scripted to read this file and update our stuff. It's the reference doctrine. Man, this is so much easier than just manually going through. All right, so let's go and run composer update. So this should get us to be at the pinpoint of 0.12.18, which allows us to fix this test. We have this wonderful Drupal test tools, PHP unit. Let's see, fatal error. Setup must be compatible with void. The latest rector release is preventing tests from being run. It appears to be because test case is already loaded when alter test case is run. Oh. So for those who don't know, Drupal has an incompatible base class and it dynamically rewrites it, or base test class, and it dynamically rewrites it. Oh, it's a grand time. And that's what this error is. So if we look at browser test base, it should load. That's the stub. Do I have it actually? No. Stub. Do I have it actually in? I don't have it actually in a Drupal site. But setup doesn't return void. Oh, here we go. Was a JSON? No, we don't have it here. But what they're saying is this doesn't run because it's not mutating the class. Great. Let's run PHP unit here locally and see what happens. Actually, that won't happen because this isn't a functional test. And why did I have to pivot again? So let's do git status, git add, git commit, git diff cache. I could just use the PHP Storm UI. Okay, so 0.18. Okay, so let's do git commit allow install of rector 0.12.18 git push uorigin fix GitHub PR create. Remove conflicts on rector. Let's edit. Removes conflicts against rector. Uses the composer install.json from each tag to find references for require dev. Documented this in readme.md. Normal testing. To do, need to open an issue for this specifically. Lots of related issues. So let's copy this issue and this one. Those folks will need credit on main issue. Submit as draft because it's not ready yet, and let's go view it. So that was all done via the GitHub command line tool, which is fabulous. Just being able to open that PR like that. And let's edit 7004. That's this PR. All right, so I need to see what the results come back with. And again, it failed already. So my goal here is to just start. How? Oh, because it was on my fork. It already ran and failed. So the goal is to start rolling back some of the dev dependencies. So again, rector installed for 12.18. Copy those references. So that way our dev dependencies match. Let's look at the functional test. And this should, okay. This replicates that Drupal issue. So let's find this out now. Setup before class must be compatible with PHP unit. Again, just so that way, if you're not familiar with this wonderful situation, let's do 9.4.x, Drupal core. Is it core tests? Yeah. All right, Drupal. Tests. Browser test base. Set up before. So set up before class should have :void after it. And this file should fix things, but it's not. And I'm actually using the same kind of workaround in PHP stand Drupal. My Drupal PHP unit hack, it does it right here as well. The only thing is autoload. When are we doing it? Because I have it as an autoload inside of the file, which I guess is bad because it's always running it technically. But let's go see here. Autoload. Okay, so that's why. Where are we including this? Where are we including this? In the bootstrap file, which is too late. So I bet if we go ahead and autoload, when we say files, bootstrap file, what do we do here? Drupal finder, can't find Drupal root. Why is this all copied? Oh yeah, to fix the namespaces. Is this needed? So populate the autoloader. We only need this. So let's see. I'm surprised that this was even working before. So Drupal PHP unit hack. Oh, tests are failing? No, should be. Um, so this should be moved out of that file and moved into here. Oh, but we need the Drupal root, which is in that file as well. Why is this? Okay, so Drupal root, Drupal finder. This is, oh man. Auto-load paths, no paths were specified. Wait, we don't need the Drupal vendor root though. Yeah, why? Let's see. Drupal class writer, Drupal 9. So this just copies out. Oh, this was a copy of the class. Okay, so we copied it into here directly. Mutate kit. So, hold on. Autoloader. So we don't need. Sorry. One moment. What are we doing here? Creating the alias. Maybe we don't need the alias here. And this can only be verified via the functional test. Okay. Loader equals Drupal vendor root. Let's try this out. So if class exists, version class. So auto loader, loader, get rid of that. Let's use the auto loader because it should be part of the Drupal site. Now Drupal root, PHP unit major, alias. Is this needed still? If major is equal to Drupal 9. So the class writer, let's copy the file contents. Did this change at all? Okay, so we had that right to that file there. Copy from Drupal core, blah, blah, blah. This is in 9.3.x. Test tools. Let's go to test tools. Now let's go to the 8.9.x. PHP unit compatibility. Runner version. Okay, so that's what we're doing here, is to help these traits, but I think that's an old bug. No, it's not. Drupal root. Let's see. So they just hardened that. What do I do here? Where do I write it? Test fixtures test case. That's right. We should change this to mutate test case directory. No, where is? Yeah, we should have it right to the stubs directory. So the version, the other problem is mutate test case, assert, this exists, find altered file. All right, let's find Drupal equals autoloader, find file for just the Drupal class. What's somewhere else I could test this on? Stubs. One second. Drupal sites. PHP Storm. Oh, whatever. Core dev. Sure. Meant to do the contrib dev one, but we should be able to test this out. So this should be as simple as new file, find core.php. Oh, it's going to index. That's why I want the core dev one. So let's do a autoloader. Stop getting angry. Yeah, that's going to take forever and a day to index. What site do I have open, or what should be? That's not it either. Come on, stop. Let's see. I'm using this one for my book. That's one that'll have it. There we go. This one should index fast. So new file, find core.php. So what do I have here? Find file. Here, export Drupal. Now I should be able to do PHP. Find PHP, find core. Excuse me. So if we did our export dir name, real path, Drupal. All right, there we go. We were able to find the core to, or the directed to that. So what is it? If we pass 2, that gives us core 3. All right, so that should get us to the core directory. File. It should be false, correct? Okay, so if Drupal is equal to false, let's just nest this. So if it's not equal to false, Drupal core dir equals, I'll just do Drupal root. Yeah, we can have Drupal root equals three. Now let's keep it at 2 and we'll call it Drupal core. So Drupal core equals which allows us to set up this alias. I really don't remember. Yeah, okay. The alias, all this. We don't have that in PHP stand anymore, though. Sorry, I can't remember. This was working around like a weird bug with traits, but I think that got resolved in a version of PHP stand. PHP unit hack. Well, then, I don't know. We'll try it out. Sure. What this should do, though, if I do composer update, we've added. I did not add the file here. Drupal PHP unit hack. Let's close this. I don't need that indexing and screwing things up. All right, so I told it to put it into the stubs, so we should have a stub file generated here because our file was included. But that does not seem to be the case. If major. Oh. That's why. Because major was not defined and it didn't error. Well, the major version only needs to be known here. Oh, for goodness sake, stop. Process. Is there. One second. I want to see if there's updates. All right, let's try the composer update again. Nothing to install. There we go. All right, this rewrote assert. Altered test case. Not found. Yep. Push alter code to file. That should. Why didn't that? Mutate test base. Test case. If the class is already there, well, let's get status. Why is I guess a really good question is why is this now causing the error? Like it already was magic that it happened to work this way. But why is it now auto loading PHP unit first? The bootstrap files. Where is this stupid thing accounted for? All right, I gotta delete this file because it's making PHP stand crash. Let's add that to the ignored scan. Big reference. No, I don't want to ignore. I just want to ignore files. PHP stand ignore file. Exclude. Here we go. Why is this going to error at me? Tab space. Sorry. Indent style. Equals tab. Stubs assert PHP. Stubs test case.php. So if we open this, we'll see that setup before class now no longer has the void attached. So let's see. Yeah. Stop. You're not supposed to scan this. Where does it? 999. All deprecations. Oh yeah, that's where it loaded the bootstrap files. Bootstrap. Oh, you know what? I wonder if we should try that first before getting all wild on it. So let's revert the changes here. And here, because this is getting to be really annoying with all these errors about these files. All right. keep that, but that's not related to this error. All right, composer update. See, autoload paths, autoload file. Dev.com. Rector. What is this stupid docs for this? Docs, auto import, how it works, images, how to configure. Additional autoloader. We'll try this out. Status. Get add config. Get diff. What did this do? Add source utility. Get status. Let's amend the commit. Moves to autoload file from Bootstrap. Let's do force push. So we're going to try to keep this clean. So that's interesting. Let's go look at rector source, rather. Autoload file, additional autoloader. Well, file ensured exists. Autoload the paths. So what's the difference between Bootstrap files? Like, what runs first? Rector config. Like, there's no like auto-loading the Bootstrap files. What gets loaded first? I don't know, and maybe this won't get me anywhere. So rector source auto-loading, additional autoloader, Bootstrap files included. Final class, abstract rector test case, process command. Excuse me. All right. So autoload actually comes after a Bootstrap file includer, so that's not going to fix it. Oh, hold on. Whoa, what? Rector examples does not exist. Palantir traits by class. What? Well, check class type has trait. Construct. Traits by class helper, no traverser. Does not exist. I feel like this got us closer. Like, why doesn't it fail here? Oh, it definitely does. That's probably been failing. Okay. Well, web modules. All right. Well, let's see. This got further than before because if we look at that error, now I wish I didn't do a force push. Um, PHP unit. Or is this saying that tests can't even be run? Are you saying that tests cannot be run for Drupal when this version of Rector is installed, or it crashes Drupal-rector? If it's the former, we can't fix that. Drupal core has to. So, all right, maybe I'm reading this wrong. But I believe we got further. So let's go check this out. Traits by helper class. Trait. Get traits by class, which was passed. Oh no, don't expand that. Drupal message set static. Drupal render static. This passed. Oh, dang it. I know why. So set auto load file, and in here auto load paths. No, that should be. Do these conflict? Vector source. Where did we find it? Was that in the bootstrap file load encoder? Process command. Autoload input if not has autoload file. Autoload paths. Autoload paths. Options. Input get option autoload file. Ensure file exists. Autoload paths. It should. Configuration. Get paths. So it says the class does not exist. But if we revert this back, status, get add fig, get amend. Force pushed again. I might drop the force push and just rebase once I get this figured out. Dev. All right. So it's adding rector. Dev fix conflicts. Mirroring from. Okay, so it ran it. So assert cache tag test. But it feels like it broke. I don't know if that was actually going to pass because it then failed to auto load. So we have to make this file be part of undo deleting. Let's add it. So, all right, we'll have to just add this to the autoloader. Wish core would just fix its stuff and break backwards compatibility. All right, so that kills this. And we need to composer.json, autoload that file. So if we autoload that file, config, this just I don't think this is needed anymore, but won't get that too far. So config, drop that, add it as an autoload file, and then a hack, composer update. Get status, add, get amend. Let's move, replicate Drupal course class rewriting in our own autoload file. I don't know. Let's do force push and see if this fixes it. Something happened along the way. 18. Well, actually, we can't even look here. We need to compare. Tags. Compare 18 to 17. That's not even good enough. Oh. And there's no way to debug this. Okay. Right. Because we auto load it. Find Drupal. I wish they had a tree for this. But I know that's a big ask. So autoloader, vector prefix. That's not it. Something happened. Rector PHP unit config. That's just all config. This is all just I don't see anything in here that could have caused this. So what we'll have to do excuse me. Trim. All right, we're gonna have to require it and debug this. All right, so let's do WD. Type is VCS. It's not auto completing, so I don't know. So rector. Do a composer require -- dev. So that should symlink it from the development repository then. Cloning from cache. No, wait, not VCS. Stop. Path. Okay. Sorry. Path. There we go. All right. So now that that's linked, what's the setup instructions? I gotta. I gotta copy the file. Yeah. So let's copy this rector file into the directory. and give this a second to index. So what I can do now at least is run rector with xdebug and hopefully reproduce this really easily. Though I wonder if rector kills xdebug too. Automated. Don't want to buy the book. Full documentation. Let's do xdebug. No. Commits. Let's see. Roll back xdebug handler. Okay. So my gut tells me it does kill rector or xdebug. So if we go to not contract, console application, and has parameter xdebug. So we need to add that flag to make sure xdebug runs. While that's going, let's go ahead and try php vendor bin rector web modules trib cdn source try. Oh, what? That doesn't. Why? Must be of type blah, but it got the prefix and it's not happy with the prefix. Why? Why not? Rector. Um, excuse me. Let's try this out. Docs, schema, no, repositories. That's what we want. Path, package, no. Options, symlink false. That's what I want. Let's not symlink this and see what happens. Oh yeah, because it's indexing all of. Let's pause that. So unlink vendor Palantir. Mirroring from yes, RMRF Blender, Palantir, drupal-rector, Blender. That did not delete my vendor here. Okay, so I forked it into there, so hopefully this doesn't crash. But why is this taking so long to even run? What is it called? Process. Well, at least it didn't crash. And I can try working on this inside of this repo. I'm just afraid I don't. It's chicken and egg problem. I don't know what changed to cause this crash. And equally, why the rector process is so slow. Wait, I think I know why. PHP I grep xdebug.mode. No, I have xdebug in develop mode. Why? And it should be turned off. Passing null. Yep. Oh, that's deprecated. One bug at a time. If that's causing that much of a slowdown in errors, that's... I already have a PR for this. All right, that... Okay, so that passed. Let's go fix this here. Oh. Yes, I want to edit this anyway. Filter. Pass. Yep. All right. So that passed, but I did not check a functional test. So let's... No, this should crash. And diff. Privacy trait. Oh. Well. Applied rules. Maybe this is going to be impossible to xdebug because this is taking forever. I wish Core would have just fixed compatibility and set the return type. It'd make life a lot easier for all this tooling. Okay, why? What do I have going on here that this would be? I don't have that many files. Those errors are gone. Guess what I could do is get this up to date. Which fixes that. Okay, wait, why didn't this crash? That's why. Because I ran it. Okay, so it didn't crash because my site, I had run tests in here, and Drupal already rewrote the file. So let's do the dry run again, and it should crash, and we'll see if we can get this to work. I hope. The big question will be testing the autoloader. Oh yeah, so it's supposed to be working, right? If I go to vendor on tier, drupal-rector. Oh, and I copied over those. So auto load, Drupal unit hack, stubs. It didn't write it. Okay, so that could be why. There's logic in here that's broken. So why don't I edit configurations? Okay, so that passed. Let's do edit configurations, new PHP script. File is not my typed data API lesson. Drupal sites, what is this? Contrib dev, vendor, bin, rector. All right, so rector, these are our arguments. And --xdebug, because we want xdebug to be processed. That better if saved. Rector. All right. So rector, if we go to rector itself, then rector loads rector PHP. Should be able to debug it, and it will break here. And it did. All right. Include dependency or autoloader. Doesn't exist yet. All right, so this is running. What I should do is I should have opened the console application. Let's drop a breakpoint there. Out. You gotta give it an absolute path. Let's edit. Or actually, web, custom working directory, apply. Okay. I want to dig through this a little bit. So application, process command, auto load, or bootstrap, files, includer. Step through this and let's debug it. Remove that breakpoint. Web, our vendor, Palantir. It should show up in stubs. All right, fxdebug is allowed. Oh. Input. Dang it. Apply, close, run it again. And now hopefully I can get through the xdebug. Yes, it's allowed. All right. So new work directory. Set play. So include bootstrap files. So what are the bootstrap files? Drupal boot, yeah. Server. No. Autoload input. Autoload file is null. Autoload paths. The paths are core modules themes. That adds the paths. And this is this must be what takes forever. The rector Drupal, the drupal-rector library doesn't use autoloading setup like PHP Stand Drupal does. So this is gonna scan through every directory. And find PHP files. So that's one reason this is slow, because it doesn't exclude. Oh, geez, this doesn't exclude all the like test date, the like fixture files, paths. Okay, so we're here. Rector is done. No, rector is not done. Hold on. Well, this didn't even get called. So I copied that from PHP Stand Drupal. This doesn't even work. Drupal PHP unit hack. How in the world is this working then? Oh, I know why. Okay, so that's broken. And so let's just new issue. Doesn't do anything. Autoload. That PHP path is broken in a Drupal site. All right. Well, I found a bug. Well, not bug, because it works in PHP Stand Drupal. What I think happens, Drupal autoloader, register, okay, so it runs this in the autoloader, which is in the bootstrap. It works because of this in the autoloader. So let's try that. Let's see if we can get some of this stuff to work. Actually, this didn't even fail. What's a test that failed? Why did this test fail? assert cache tag test. Let's just browser test base. Yeah, that's so CDN integration test. Set up before class. Oh, what? Oh, that's right. I was testing my Composer Lenient tool. So let's change. So of course it's going to pass because it's fixed in Drupal 10. Replace all. And do a Composer update. Drupal core. Symphony Finder. Yeah, something to slow down your disk. It's so Rector, what Rector does, well, one, PHP Storm was indexing a lot because it did a symlink with the vendor directory. And Rector itself is slow because it's scanning all of Drupal core for auto loading, which means it's going into like the migrate module. And there's no fixtures there. Where's the fixtures at? It's technically trying to auto load all of these PHP files. So Rector, Drupal Rector could use some performance improvements, but that will be for another day. Because there's only so much time. Wait, why did this pick up the... Oh, because it's not done yet. All right, well, I couldn't replicate the error because I had Drupal 10. It's not a problem on Drupal 10. So let's wait for this. CDN integration test, browser test base. Come on. This is one thing too. When you have two PHP storms open, they share some caches. So if things get invalidated in one, it can cause the other one to also index as well. So the more you know, if you didn't know that. All right, wait for this to finish. All right, but now this should be debuggable. I wonder if we could even copy this code. So, like, no, Drupal test tools aren't. When does that get registered? That's not it. Source Drupal test tools. Add core test namespaces. Yeah, so that runs first. Rector needs to change how it does its auto loading for any of this to work. But hopefully I don't need to be that drastic. Come on. So the reason why PHP stand works is it adds the core test namespaces to the autoloader, which then allows it to call the transformer directly. And I'm hoping we can do that here as well, since I can now edit this in place. And I also know more now that we don't need to invoke this at all. Yeah. All right. I think we can get this. But first, let's verify. Okay, so that's running. Let's just do the dry run, make sure that crashes. And then I'm going to try to fix up that PHP unit file to match more of what we do in the autoloader, where we define all the core test namespaces. Yeah, so then I register the namespaces, then we can call that file. All right. Terminal. Oh, I see. Wait, no, setup. Yeah, but browser test base. Set up before class is incompatible. Why didn't this crash? This is crashing everywhere else. So, rector examples. Let's just copy. D9. Rector examples. Modules custom. Why is this crashing locally with 9.2? That shouldn't matter. Set up Drupal. What version are we getting? 9.3.13. I'm at 9.4, but that still shouldn't. It's here. Like there's an error. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Symphony unit bridge. Ah, okay. There we go. Finally, we have it replicated. So now, let's try something. We're going to purge this all. And core test directory is Drupal root. This probably isn't needed. Let's register namespaces. So why don't we do autoloader, no, autoload pass. We don't have the autoloader in here, do we? So we say autoloader equals Drupal vendor root autoload.php and assert or if autoloader stop. Let's say if autoloader instance of composer. Let's copy this out. Test tools. We need test tools. So test tools and register name, register PSR4. Let's do autoloader register or add PSR4. What is prefix? For each prefix, why? What? Why is this? Okay. I copied that from somewhere. I don't. So add PSR4. Test discovery. There we go. Let's copy it from there. Test namespaces, add PSR4. So the value should be an array. So we have that, and then we just need to do now let's do the debug. We got to change the file. Did that save it correctly? No, did not. All right, let's debug it. Drupal unit hack and drupal-rector. Oh, well now this is okay. Yep, so that's the return. Let's see if this runs in time. So skip that. Debugger. Autoloader. Hold on. Ditch that. So that's not going to work at all. Or it could work if I fixed this. Parameter provider. Okay. Oh, man. It helps. You get an instance if you actually require it. All right. So autoloader is an instance of autoloader. Second. Core test directory. Let's just make sure this tracks. So web, core, test, Drupal, test tools. Okay. Wait, undefined property. Oh, shoot. There we go. Now, let's just run it. And what it should do is run the code as expected, and we'll have the fixtures in sites default, and everything will pass. So since this isn't symlinked anymore, I'm going to go ahead and start updating it over here, assuming that it's going to work. Come on. Oh, what is this? Drupal test session trait not found. Okay, so apparently we still need to test namespaces. What's that? Test discovery. Build tests. All right, make a mess of this really quick. I'm not going to be nearly as far as I was hoping to. But if I can leave this stream with at least the upgrade to 12.18 feasible, I'll be happy. Yeah, Drupal test session test trait not found. Functional test setup trait. Yep, that tracks as something silly that would happen. Reload from disk. Oh, it did not write. So let's stop, actually. I want to do the debug and walk through the rewrite. Also, this needs to be fixed. That double registers. All right, let's see. Core test directory. All right. Debug it. Step in. All right. Well, that's what I was afraid of. So it's already been auto loaded, it seems. I should turn off. Let's just run it. So yeah, it's a bootstrap file. And that's exactly what this is as well. But why? Excuse me. I don't know why something would be loading it first. Oh. All right, we do need the entire. We need this whole thing still. Because it hasn't been optimized. Yep, that's where it adds it. So this populates the class loader. So that makes sure that all, I don't know why it can't be auto-loaded. And I tried to normalize this out of PHP Stand Drupal so both things could use it, but it's just not gonna happen, I guess. Loader equals. But why? The real question is, why is PHP unit test already been auto-loaded in this process? Filter. Run. Interface exists. Mutate class. Assert. Test case. So what could have possibly? Let's put a breakpoint there. Right? There. See what happens. PHP stand, PHP unit. That's a stub file for PHP stand. Framework. I'm going to drop a breakpoint and see if that causes include file, bootstrap. That's why. All right. We figured it out. So github.com, rector source. Bootstrap. Where does this come from? Really just comes from rector. Yeah. No. All right. We need to go. It's not there anymore. Found the cause. This forces the class to be auto-loaded immediately. Words. It has its own hack to ensure the base class exists. This is over June. Rector failing on default Symfony config run if it's not installed. Rector source, add stub. This is the problem. This and it get removed. All right, on March 12th. So, where's this commit? Where does this commit live? Fixed. March. So 19. Browse the tree. Okay, so it was dropped to 19. God. All right. So let's do this. Excuse me, because I know this is needed. This is what PHP stand does. PHP stand Drupal. 19. And we're going to say that we need a minimum of 19. So let's get back to it. Rector bootstrap at 19. Vendor composer install.json. Let's do the dance. Oh, shoot. GitHub.com. Rector source. Is that pinned in here? tags 19, right? All right. Cake PHP. Rector doctrine. Well, wasted all that time and it was fixed in the next version. I hate that all these are bundled together. Symphony. So let's try this. Composer update. Okay, so it's going to upgrade Rector. And I want it to recopy over. Okay, so now. Oh. Wait for this index. So Rector had its own PHP unit hack for when PHP unit wasn't installed on a Symfony site. That was causing an early auto load of the code. But wait a minute. I gotta now check if PHP. I have no idea if that's when, for Rector PHP unit, if that's when the constant got removed. So commits. Let's just, I need to browse a commit. Browse files. Source. Set. Okay, 7.5 still exists. Cannot use 0.12.18 as it has a hack in its bootstrap.php around test case, which auto loads too early and breaks Drupal's workaround for test case compatibility. It was removed in 0.2.19. All right, let's do a debug, see if this works. That problem too. Step in, step in. Hey. Oh. Well, I thought that's where it would write it. Right? Directory. There we go. Huzzah. All right. That's just awesome. I'm gonna fix this array filter. Wrong way to do it. Wrong file rather. Let's go here and file exists. Okie dokie. Get diff. Get add. And get amend. 15. We conflict on 0.12.18 due to code in rector's bootstrap.php, which autoloads PHP units test case before Drupal core can modify it. One file will be changed. Yes. Force push that. Let's see. So right now, 0.12.19 is the sweet spot for drupal-rector working. We're broken against 0.12.18 and its bootstrap.php code, which autoloads test case too early, so Drupal cannot rewrite it. Updated. Oh, we don't updated this to match what PHP stan Drupal does, and now we don't need to have a forked copy of the class writer. So I should go remove that. Utility 9 class writer. Yes, everything is passing. Get status. Get amend. Oh, what a ride. All seems good on 0.12.19. All right. I just want to see this turn green. I'm over my time. But at least now we're here. So let's call this. We'll call this that issue. Let's have this PR just address that issue. We can handle 0.12.20 plus and another. Let's pop this ready for review. green. That runs page review. Let's consider but as the fix. Okay, the functional testing is done. Need to figure out how to fix this. Because this was passing, but it doesn't seem to be anymore. But it's passing blindly. So, say that for another day. Ready for review. Cool. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go ping the rector channel for this to get some review. And have a good one, everybody. I'll be back next week, probably working on more of this. So, see you later.